Page 18, Mexican Hat Dance. I have a few things to say here, because if you look at the tempo, it's marked allegro. If you look at the piece, it's got eighth notes all over everywhere. Well, the time signatures is 6/8, so an eighth note gets a count. So it's going to be a fast 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, generally, Mexican hat dance, you can almost feel it in 2, but it's not. You really want to feel it in a fast 6, in my opinion, here. All right? Because if I feel it in 2, it's and to me, it should be more like I don't want to feel triple. I want to feel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like every note is deliberate. All right, it's not just a triplet. I want to feel all 6 notes. And I don't know if I'm explaining it very well. The idea is don't play it so fast where you're just thinking in 2s. Even though at the left hand, I mean, look at the bottom of page 18, you see it's 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. But to me, it's still better if we feel it in 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Blah, blah, whatever. The fingering wise, I have a few suggestions here. This is a quick little piece. And because of that, you have to be careful on the fingerings, because fingerings played slowly don't always work going fast. Look at, I'm going to start with this on page 18. That'll be the second line, last measure. It's those last 2 notes, the G and the F sharp. Well, they have written this, and going into the next line, they've written this with 3. So you're using a 1, 2, 1 there. You see it in the third line down, it's 1, 2, 1. Well, that doesn't really work all that well on a fast piece, that tempo, because you're using those fingers quite. I mean, sometimes you have no choice. But in this case, we do have a choice. We don't have to do that. So I'm suggesting, starting with the last 2 notes of the second line, you finger those 4, 3. Okay? So that, and the third line, that first note is with the 4th finger. You have a thumb on the D, and for the first ending there, you just cross over and use the 2nd finger. That to me is much easier than that. That can get, well, so that's what I recommend. Then, for the tricky part of this, and that starts with the last 2 notes in the second ending, those 2 Ds. It's the whole last line on page 18 and the first 2 measures on page 19. This is the tricky part because you have repeated notes. All right? Okay, well, you can only do those so fast. And when you pick a tempo for a piece of music, you have to find this, like in this case, you have to find the section where you are forced to play it the slowest you're going to go, and you play the whole thing at that speed. All right, don't take off at the top at a nice speed and then get down here and then slow it way down. No, please don't do that. Same speed throughout. Okay, so we have to find a fingering here that allows us to play faster. If you're using the same finger on each repeated note, you're limited to how fast you can go. It gets very tiring very quickly. So I'm going to offer a couple of suggestions. And I like to use different fingers on repeated notes anyway, so this is wonderful. I'm going to start the last 2 eighth notes in the second ending there, okay, on page 18. I'm going to do a 3-1. And then I'm just going to alternate 3-1 throughout this whole line until I get to the last measure on page 18. It's just 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, 3-1. So I'm starting out with 3-1. The last line is going to be 3-1. Okay, actually I even do a 3-1 on there. And I'm continuing. The last 2 notes on page 18 is 3-1, continuing on until I get to the last measure of the first line on page 19. Then I used 4 like they're showing. With a little practice, you can speed this up. And however fast you go, that's your tempo. Now, you can experiment with other fingerings, and I'll give you one a little more complicated. May take a little longer to learn, but it will in fact allow you to go even faster than that. All right? And that is for the last 2 notes there in the second ending, I'm going to do a 3-4. In other words, instead of a 3-1, it's a 3-4. Because I want 5th finger on the first note on the last line on page 18. And then I'm going to go for the 3 A's, it's 3-2-1. For the C's, it's 4-3-2. For the B's, it's 1-3-2. For the D's, it's 3-4-5. For the A's, 3-2-1. For the C's, 4-3-2. Okay? As you can repeat that, it keeps going. So that's awkward at first, but if you'll get to where you can do this sort of thing, just keep slowly, just play it slow. Gradually speed it up, you will get to where you can play it very quickly. And this piece, this section, won't hold you back at all. You can easily play this as fast as you're playing the rest of it. And that's what I'm recommending you do on the fingerings. You have to take a pencil and write them in at first because you'll forget what they are, what were they. So just slowly. And that's the tricky part of this piece. Now, going down on page 19, the last line, the last 2 measures. You're here. They're suggesting a 1 on the E, and a 2 and a 1 again. We're back to that 1-2-1. I suggest for the last 2 measures, you're starting out okay. Then I suggest a 1 here rather than a 2, and then a 3 here. Right. I can do that very easily and quickly. All I'm doing is skipping the index finger. For the left hand, I like the fingering. They're finally showing you a 4th finger. 4th finger, not 3rd. Yay, they put 4th finger on it. So that's about it. And you can find recordings of this, and there's people will take it at different speeds. So you have to take it at the speed you can play, full control, full accuracy, full everything, whatever. Let's play it together slowly, all right? Just real slowly, just for kicks and giggles. No big deal. When we get to the bottom of the page 18, I'm going to use the 1-3-1-3 thing. So, I mean, it's fine. It works. I put the metronome on 50, but it's beating dotted quarter notes, all right? Dotted quarter note gets 3/8 notes, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Like that, the 8th notes are still going to move pretty good. So let's try it at that speed and see if we can do it. Play it one hand at a time for a while if you have to. All right, here and here. There's no pedal on this. 4 counts, and then we come in. 1, 2, 3, go.